being a good example to your children usually doesn't include assaulting law enforcement. And it's your buddy Moo Juice Magic here. And have we got one for you today? We have a news article plus a video we're going to look at. Now, YouTube, before you even consider getting mad at me, you can't see any actual violence in this clip. No one actually gets socked on camera. Sorry for those of you who came here for the violence. It's not how it goes today. I don't want to have to sit and edit all day anyway, so it works out. It doesn't take me that long, but still. All right, here's the article. It's from New York Post. An irate Florida couple have been arrested after they were caught on camera allegedly attacking and punching a middle school resource officer who had disciplined their son for shoving a classmate. Jorge Riviera, 46, and his wife, Dagmary Aponte Iturino, or something, 45, were both slapped with assault charges after their meeting with the Deltona Middle School officer descended into chaos on Tuesday, authorities said. The parents had allegedly gone to the school to protest the officer's decision to slap their son with a battery charge for pushing a girl the day before, according to the Volusia County Sheriff's Office. Just saying that woman's name threw off my entire ability to read, so let me recollect myself here. When Jorge didn't like the outcome of the meeting, he became irate, started screaming at the deputy, and was asked to leave, the sheriff's office said of the dad. Footage from the officer's body cam, which is what we're going to watch, showed the moment Riviera erupted and started raging at the female deputy, calling her a worthless piece of, well, you can kind of figure that part out. Why are you worthless? Do you feel proud that you were worthless? What a weird line of questioning. He could be heard shouting in the 3-minute clip, "Shut the F up, because I pay your salary, you dumb," he added as his wife tried to push him back. Moments later, things took a turn in the hallway when the boy's mom allegedly shoved the officer and his father punched her in the face. I'm not going to read the rest of the article yet. We'll get back to it. But let's watch the video of this fine tax-paying couple, as they say of themselves, shall we?
You can explain.
Yeah, start it over there.
When this process goes to the court, you can explain your side of the story to the judge. It's ultimately going to be.
That's how that works usually.
What is going to happen?
So, in case you're wondering, this big blurb right here in the center of the screen, that is going to be the son. This is obviously the dad, and this is the mother whose name is incredibly difficult to try to read out loud.
From here on out. What I made a determination on is probable cause alone, which just means that he was the primary aggressor, being that
the primary
this
aggressor
isn't an argument.
Yelling at him.
Okay,
And that's
I'm gonna finish this conversation.
Fun fact, guys, if someone yelling at you doesn't give you the right to assault them. It doesn't matter how old you are. I've had to deal with the principals at schools before. My daughter got in one fight ever at school. What happened was her friend was being yelled at by this chick, and then the chick shoved her friend. To it, my daughter said, "Hey, whoa, back off," and said, "What's your problem?" And then she shoved my daughter. The thing about my daughter and my kids are, they'll train in martial arts. My daughter studies jiu-jitsu. I've been teaching her, various forms of karate since she could stand up. Same with my other children. That's how I was taught. That's how they're being taught. And she proceeded to, do what she was trained to do. It didn't go very far, but she got a couple good wallops in and dropped her, took her to the ground before the crowd separated them. And my kid did not get to choke the girl out, which I think was probably what her goal was, though she did not specify that. That said, physical contact was initiated by the other girl first. My kids know better than to touch another person because words are words. Once a hand is thrown, then you need to defend yourself. Expect a self-rescue. You have every right to defend yourself, I tell my kids. This is a different situation. This is a girl yelled at a boy who then shoved her. I think that pressing assault charges may have been maybe much, depending on the situation. Schools usually maybe not. I don't know. It's without having seen that whole incident, I'm not going to get into that, but it was deemed worthy of bringing this kid in and filing an assault charge on him. He's a juvenile. He'll get a slap on the wrist. He'll get deterrent probably if he doesn't have a criminal record. Usually means, a short little stint of having to go to court here and there. And a slap on the wrist beyond that, and then a clean criminal record, because you can't be convicted as a child unless you're tried as an adult. It's called an adjudication. Anyway, here we go.
You failed a kid. Okay, that's
you failed the kid.
You are failing
kids right here. We're not talking about us.
Okay, he failed a kid by protecting the health of another classmate. That's not failing a kid. You failed the kid to not teach the kid not to lay his hands on people, especially young girls. What do you mean? You failed the kid. And we're gonna find out where this kid gets it from here pretty soon. And I can tell you for a fact it wasn't the officer that failed the kid because I watched this.
Because believe me, if it were about the adults, we can solve this a whole different
We can.
level.
Oh yeah, I'm
So
sure you
We
can,
are talking
officer.
about a kid that I'm
If you want to
fooling.
speak,
Now I'm
my
telling you,
supervisor,
I'm
you're not
talking
gonna raise
to
your
you.
voice at me.
Okay,
You're not
yes,
gonna
I
raise
am going to do. Guess
Okay.
what? Because I
You
pay
guys
you
are going to
salary.
leave.
Okay, what
You guys
happened
can
to
leave.
you?
You can leave.
Okay, why are you so
can't have-
worthless? Do you
can't have a
feel
conversation,
do you
so you need
feel
to leave.
proud that you are?
This big guy is a very little man. He is a coward. He is talking to her because she is a her. This officer is a female. This is a male cop. He might be talking to him like that, but I doubt he'd be posturing so much. I got chunks of guys like this in my stool, to clarify. People like this are the worst kind of hothead. They're the kind of hothead that likes to get hot-headed and get aggressive, but then they only get physical when there's someone they deem weaker than them. I have no respect for people like this. This is where the kid gets it from.
This worthless lady?
I'm
Do
gonna
you
tell
feel this proud that
I'm
you
going
are
to
this
tell you one more
worthless?
time
Shut the
before
up because I paid your salary, you dumb
If you put
bitch.
your hand in my
Okay?
face, this is gonna
That's what
escalate.
happened. Look, what is gonna happen?
You're gonna go to
What is
jail.
gonna happen?
You need to leave.
You are a worthless piece of shit.
He's doing this in front of his kid, mind you. I want you to understand. This is happening in front of his son, who is in trouble for shoving a girl because he was angry because she yelled at him. This is the example. You lead by example when you have kids, guys. Your kids see how you act. They will emulate how you act. What they see at home, they will produce outside of the home. This kid will probably, hopefully, grow out of it. Hopefully, this whatever is going on with the legal system for him and the juvenile system does him good, and he gets some kind of maybe counseling. They might even settle on counseling and anger management for the kid. That would be beneficial because he's not getting that at home. This is not a good example of an adult.
Yeah, call backup.
Call backup. Yeah, definitely.
No one will die.
100%. If I was that cop, the minute he did that with the chair, I would have put his ass in cuffs. I know it sounds weird, but there's precedent
You
for it.
need to leave.
There's nothing that we can do, okay? But don't worry, we're gonna keep this high.
You need to leave.
You are.
You put your hand in my
right
face
here.
one more time. I have a issue.
Don't touch the cop. Ladies, if your man is being stupid, don't touch the law enforcement officer. You're gonna go to jail for assault. This woman just assaulted a cop. She's interfering with a law enforcement official. I know it's your husband. Put your hands on your husband, push him away. Don't touch the cop, okay? Just don't touch the cop. It's that fucking simple. It's not rocket surgery. It doesn't require a vast education to figure that out. The minute you touch the cop and escalate it to physical aggression, you're getting put on shiny cuffs. You're getting shiny bracelets on your wrist, and you're going to go to jail. And then he's going to escalate. Now he's swinging. Here comes the taser. Now she drops her taser because he assaulted. He's a much larger man than her. She didn't draw her firearm, which is a guy like that. Do you want to risk it? One good shot from that guy hit the right way. This officer fell backwards. That's main line for serious injury. The back of your head has a bunch of stuff on it. I've talked about it on this channel before. You got a whole bunch of nerves back there. You can be crippled or worse. Being shoved, hitting the back of your head, making contact with something. Permanent damage can instill from what doesn't seem like a lot of impact. This guy... and then she drops her taser. So he might even shrug the taser off. They're not that effective all the time. They're effective, just not all the time. You never know. And then he grabs the taser. Felony soup right there, buddy. Now he has a deadly weapon. He's stolen her firearm. I know it's a taser. It's still, he's stolen her weapon. Now he could use it against her. What should she do? That is where you wonder, you look at your situation, find out who you're going to be hitting with bullets. It's got to be what's going through her mind. Because if he subdues her with a taser, and he can get her firearm, who knows who he kills. This man has already shown that he has no temperament control whatsoever. This is a guy with some severe problems. He's a severe issue for the people around him. He's a threat. He's a danger. Luckily, he didn't go through with anything from the taser.
Put it down right
Now she has her gun out.
down right now. Put your hands behind your back.
Actually, I don't know if she has her gun out. I don't know if in Florida if the resource officers carry their firearm. Here they do. Here they do. Now, you don't want to draw a firearm in a school. I get that. I understand that. You want to avoid that at all costs. There could be a kid anywhere. Could be innocent. They're surrounded by innocent people. A lot of innocent targets here. Before you think that I'm just suggesting she starts shooting willy-nilly, that's not my point. The point is, when is it justifiable or when is it intelligent to draw your firearm? He has your taser. You obviously aren't going to be fighting him back. His wife and the school staff are having a hard time controlling this guy. That's not a good sign. That's a recipe for disaster. You've already been disarmed once. You've been dropped. Who knows what damage you felt? You're in shock. You're not in control of your entire thought process at this point. Now your adrenaline's pumped. You got to ask yourself, how do I need to approach this next?
Put your hands behind your f***ing back now. Put your hands behind your f***ing back now.
So he still tries to eyeball her with his back turned. This idiot is just special. Something tells me this man has been arrested on multiple occasions. I have a feeling this guy does not have a clean rap sheet. Just to clarify, he's probably worn the silver cuffs the silver bracelets a couple times. So, as it continues, the officer was knocked to the ground during the melee and was later treated at a hospital for a concussion, authorities said. Like I said, you fall backwards, you can cause some serious injury. A concussion's nothing to laugh at. It might seem like a minimal thing comparatively, but that concussion can lead to serious issues down the line. You see it with TBI a lot, traumatic brain injury. CTE from shit like that, which is a long-term version of traumatic brain injury or something that it causes, traumatic brain injury causes. As someone who's been concussed before, you don't always know you're concussed. I can tell you that for a fact. I was concussed and still fought. Didn't know I was hurt. Till the next day when I was talking really, really slow, and it took me about 2 weeks to recover from that. So, and that's me being a big guy. So if you're wondering why some kids, this is the article, if you're wondering why some kids show no fear of consequences in today's society, look no further than these parents as Exhibit A, said Sheriff Mike Chitwood. That's exactly right. He's exactly right. This is not just because his deputy was injured or they flipped out on her. This is because this is the truth. This is what's happening. This kid is seeing this is emulating what he's seeing at home. He's acting out upon what his parents are showing, the example that they are leading with. Both the mother and the father. Look, this is a heated issue when it comes to your kids in school. I understand that. I get heated when I don't agree with something the school does. I get pissed off because of my tax dollars. Exact reason he was saying. Because it makes me mad to know that my tax dollars aren't going where I want them to be. I have never had to raise my hand to a person at the school, let alone a freaking law enforcement officer. If you were getting that hot-headed, dude, you should have gotten yourself out of the room. If you have a problem with it, file a complaint. Talk to an attorney. Charges are being pressed on your kid. Fight it in court. A lot of the times, if you fight shit in court, the problem goes away. A situation like that, unless there's video evidence, it's super hard to prove. Hearsay. She says something, he says something. Okay. She says he shoved me, he said they didn't. They might have a couple eyewitnesses that say he shoved her. Whatever. He can just say, no, I didn't shove her. The evidence is circumstantial at that point. Unless there's video of it. That says, I'm glad they're locked up, and I look forward to them being held fully accountable for this blatant attack on our deputy who was just doing her job. Absolutely. The deputy was not in the wrong. Sorry. I don't care if you agree with that. It's a statement of fact. You can let me know why you don't agree with me in the comment below. Be respectful, and I will read your comment. I have no problem with that. The parents were each charged with battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting with violence, disruption of school function, and trespassing on school campus. Rivera is also charged with armed robbery and grand theft for taking the deputy's taser when it fell on the floor, authorities said. Yep, no argument. Fair charge. I think we might word it differently in California. I think it would be something more with, I don't know, attempted assault with a weapon at that point. If he pointed it at her, aggravated assault for sure. Because he took her weapon. He had the wherewithal to grab her weapon that's leading up to something else. I don't know how they try that particular thing. A lot of this stuff's going to get knocked down in court unless this guy has a litany of charges, which, if I were to guess, judging by how he about faced and finally got cuffed and the way he was mean-eyeing her when he was getting cuffed, like he was still thinking about doing something, I would say this is not his first rodeo. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Is this a respectful way to raise your children? Do you think this is an appropriate situation? Do you think they acted appropriately? Obviously, I don't imagine anyone's going to come to their defense about that. But if you see something you find that they were correct about, let me know. If you have a problem with how your kid's being treated in the school, guess what? You can move them to a different school. It's a hassle, sure. If you have an issue with charges being pressed, like I said, there's legal avenues to argue that. It's just the reality of things, man. My kid got a suspension for that fight, even though she defended herself. Both kids got suspended. Was it necessary to suspend my daughter? No. Was it justifiable? No. Was it the school's policy? Yes. So that's what happened. Does it bother me that the principal didn't make an account for it? Yes. It also bothers me because the principal lied to me about the fight. He didn't realize there was another video that I would have access to, which I did. That bothered me. Where do I go from there? Is it worth me taking the time to file charges? No. File a complaint with the school board? Nah. It's a fight at school, man. I used to get in fights at school all the time. But times have changed. Times have changed dramatically. Anyway, well, let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments, man. Really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It helps out a lot. Leave your likes, and if you dislike the video, dislike it, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I think you should raise your kids to have a little more respect for people in general and not be so hot-headed. And that's coming from a hot-headed ginger Irish guy of Irish descent. I'm an American. Don't get me wrong. Grandma was born coming over, not me. All right. I love you in the face. Mood Juice Magic out. Words are hard. Words are so hard.